Hey everybody, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures, and we're live for live readings. I've got a few decks with me today. Actually, let me grab those. So we're doing live tarot readings today. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box. Otherwise, I don't know, I guess we could chat about rando stuff. Give it a few minutes for people who are just logging on to log on and say what they got to say, I guess. So for today's reading pleasure, I have with me, as always, my Birdie Tarot. I've got the Wild Unknown. What else? Oh, I've got Spirit de la Lune, which is really nice. What else do I have? I've got Star Child. I left Ritual Abuse at home. And then I've got a few other decks back here as well. We can always dip our toes into those if we want. Like the Sisura. Oh, you know what? I've got Sisura Beato with me today too. So we can read from Sisura Beato if we want. So anyway, yep, if you want a live reading, just poke over there. I actually think Kelly from Truth and Story is having a live chat right now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that this one is dead. She has wonderful live chats, and had I known she had scheduled something, I probably wouldn't have done this one tonight. But anyway, if you want a live reading, just, right over there. Oh, and then I have really fun. I've got some deck reviews coming up that I'm going to do, hopefully get some started tomorrow. I had an exchange I had to catch up on, but I just got the Forces, Flora, and Fauna Oracle. This is by the girl that did the Brady Tarot. I just received my Witchbone Oracle, which is really, it's okay. Not as good as I was expecting. The imaging online is fantastic, but the print quality isn't that great. You can see the pixelation in the images that she would, like, whoever her printer was, so it's not that fantastic. But it's still a cute little oracle, and if you like astrology, it's probably nice. And then let's see, what else did I get in? Oh, I got this cute little call it my Little Mermaid Oracle, but it's called Sea Whispers, and these are all oracle cards that are nautical themed. Some of them are just like, I wish you'd pick an ocean and stick with it, but because some are like tropical, some are like English seashore, some are like New England, some are Pacific, some are Atlantic. It seems like, I get it's a Sea Whispers, so it's gonna, like, there's like 7 of the seas. There's ocean, like there's so many different bodies of water, but I wish there was something a little more New England specific, and maybe that is something that I could wind up doing. I don't know. I'll toy with the idea. But in the meantime, if you want a reading, just post your question in the little doobly-doo, and I am more than happy to do a reading for you. I'm going to give this until about 7-ish to get watchers, and then if nobody pops on, I'm going to go home. So let's see, what is it? What is today? All right, so we're mid-May. I suppose I could check in with my yearly reading. So the 3 of Swords, heartbreak, betrayal, turmoil, no making major decisions. I don't know. Oh, hey Paloma, how are you? Doing free readings right now. If you want a reading, just post your chitty chatty question in the chitty chatty window. Otherwise, if there's anything specific you want to talk about, I'm more than happy to talk about it. I am just realizing right now I should probably have a set of specific topics to talk about, because I really have just been rambling the last few times I did this. But anyway, how are you? How have you been? I want to hear all about it. I feel like it's been a little while since you've been on a chitty chat. I should stop calling them that. I don't know why. I can't stop myself. Weird. But anyway, yeah. Did you want me to read for you today or not? there's a delay, by the way. So it might take a little while for this to get around to you. But yeah, so let's see. I was talking about, May, my card of the month for May was the Three of Swords, which is betrayal, turmoil, not making any major decisions, confusions and entanglements. And something's popped up for me where I suppose that would be true. I wish it wasn't true, but it is what it is. I don't know. I need to do a video for that. In response to in the 78 cards, like he usually hosts the year ahead tarot tag, and I have kind of dropped the ball on my tarot tags. I want to start getting back into those again. I did a short video explaining why I've dropped the ball on them, but excuses are excuses, and I'm not a big fan of excuses in any aspect of my life. So I just have to pick that ball up again. I actually caught up on a lot of work and stuff that I had missed out on recently. So hopefully we'll start seeing more tarot tags and more deck reviews from me. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything that you want to read on, I've got all sorts of decks. I've got my Birdie Tarot, which everybody seems to be loving so far. I've got... Hi, Colleen. How are you? I'm doing free readings tonight if you want a reading, per usual. It's good to see you. Yeah. Okay, Paloma, you want to know if you're going to find a new love until or look, if you'll find a new love before your birthday? All right, so when it comes to, I'm not saying no to that question, or to a romance reading, but I am going to change the wording up for you a little bit because I don't like to impose like a third person, like a third person perspective or a free will perspective on something like that. And I'm also not really very comfortable in my ability to read timing yet. What I will do is we're going to rephrase your question a little bit. And we're going to say, what can you do to get yourself ready to receive love? I think would be probably better. You know, like how can you make yourself more open to a romantic energy or romantic love? Just because with the question, the way that you phrased it, it does have, you know, with everything, there is the concept of free will. So I don't like to read for, you know, it would have to be like that other person. Is he ready? Or is she ready? Or are they ready? And I don't really like to do that. I like to read for the person who's sitting for me. So we're just going to read about what you can do to get yourself, like, you know, how to make yourself more receptive to romantic energies. If there's any blocks you've been experiencing that maybe have been getting in the way of you receiving romantic love. And I think that's probably, that'll probably, like, it'll get us started. It'll launch us anyway. I also find it's probably not a good idea to, like, on something like this, to impose that kind of a timeline on yourself. I mean, not for everything, but life is fast, and the end of July isn't that far away. I mean, that's like 2.5 months. So, I mean, you know, like, give yourself a break, you know? Like, you don't have to rush it. It's 2.5 months away. Like, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, and don't rush it. Usually I find that most relationship blocks come from when people try to rush things and shoehorn them into an idea of what they have for them. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what we got going on. I'm just doing a little hand over hand shuffle just to get a good mix. All right, so let's see. We got one card for you, second and third. So how to get yourself like, you know, romantic, like a romantic energy type reading. So here, okay, so good news, bad news is this is a bit of a mixed reading. You've got the Eight of Swords, which is a card that nobody loves to see. You've got the Page of Swords, which I enjoy. It's not a bad one. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles. So, I mean, for this, I think this is the big one right here. I think you're kind of the cause of your own block as far as romantic love is concerned. There's something, you've got some sort of baggage keeping you stuck in whatever kind of place that you are stuck in, like your singleness. And it seems as though, like, usually the Eight of Swords indicates something that's kind of self-made. So either you had a bad well, not either. I mean, this is like you had a bad relationship experience. It probably didn't end very well. And unfortunately, you have allowed it to shape the way that you experience romance. So I think what you need to do is kind of rethink that. This is a trap of self-made. You know, this is a dire situation of self-made proportions. Hi, Samantha. So I think what you need to do is maybe to get yourself ready to receive new love, or to like get yourself ready to put yourself out there romantically, you need to kind of sit down and reassess how your approach, like your whole approach to romance. And you need to like ask yourself, why have you put this arbitrary like date on it? Like, why are you just like, yep, by my birthday? Like that's got something. Yeah, so I mean, if you're stuck in the past, you're not ready. You're not ready for new love yet. And you're stuck because you're keeping yourself stuck there. I mean, it's like the Eight of Swords. I love this card because look, there's a way out. All this bird has to do is take the blindfold off, and then he can like hop right out of there. Because the swords, like, yeah, they're like behind him and kind of to the, what would that be? That would be his right. But he can, like, if he took the blindfold off, he could hop right out of there, no problem, right? So it's just kind of like you need to get yourself out of that singular, like that infinite loop that you're stuck in, and then like realize like your problem isn't actually a problem. Like there's a way out of it. That being said, when you finally do figure that out, these two cards are awesome sauce. Okay, they're both indicative of the beginning of a romantic journey. This is somebody though who is, the pages are new. The pages are new. Well, the Page of Swords, like new thoughts, it's almost like a clearing, like a whoosh, like the air is clear and you're ready to go. You're ready, not necessarily to rush ahead. This isn't like a Knights of Energy kind of a feeling, but like there's some newness coming in there, and it's kind of some new, I think this is more about new thought patterns. So, and sometimes this can also mean somebody who is a person. I'm not big on seeing the courts as people, but I mean, there's definitely like a new fresh energy in there. I mean, this is the pages usually in a romance reading for me are people who are like finally ready to kind of dip their toes back into the dating pool. They're not anybody that are ready to settle down yet, but I mean, they're usually people that are just like, okay, I'm ready to put myself back out there, and I'm ready to handle all the good and bad that comes with like fresh dating. Because I think you need to also kind of like, getting back out there is awful. Like it's good and it's bad. Like it's, you know, you've got rejection, you've got to kiss a lot of proverbial toads, as they say, before you find your prince. But the Ace of Pentacles also, it bodes well. This is good news. This is good news financially. This is good news as far as like your your five senses. This is good. Like this is good, rich stuff. This is good energy. So I think once you clear this out, you're going to have a good time in the dating pool. Like you're not going to have to kiss too many toads before you find yourself some good potential partners. Also, it wouldn't be like, this is also like, it's not going to hurt for you to get yourself sorted and get yourself, like, you need to be a little more self-reliant emotionally than like, so that way you don't repeat the mistakes of your past. So anyway, I hope that that made a little more sense to you. And I hope it helps, but I really think that you should kind of relax on yourself. I don't think you should put your you know, the date of the 29th out there for you. And I hope that reading helped you. I think you need to give yourself a break, kiddo. But anyway, I hope it resonated. And if anybody else, we're going to move on to the next reader or to the next sitter or querent or client, not client. I don't know, whatever the word is. But anyway, if you have questions, put them right in the box. Oh, Colleen, good. I'm glad you're flitting in and out. I love when you watch. That sounded really weird. But anyway, good. I'm glad it makes sense. Usually, like I said, romantic readings, I don't think it does any good to be like, well, when am I going to find my next date? It's like, no. Like, are you even ready to find your next date yet? I think makes a little more sense. And when like stuff like that happens when it's supposed to happen, I don't think that the cards can really tell us like when you're going to find your next date. I think what they can tell us is how to make ourselves a little more prepared mentally and emotionally to get to the next step in our search for a relationship. Oh my God, I love him. Don't you love him? He's so good. He's a corporate gift calendar, actually. One of my vendors sends calendars every year, and their calendars are always so good. Usually I just throw them away, like not theirs, but I mean, you get a lot of corporate gift calendars, like thanks for spending all your money at our place where you have to buy hundreds of our things. Here's a calendar in return. And I'm just like, okay, but like that one is really good. It's got a lot of really good ones in it. But anyway, anybody else want a reading? We've got lots and lots of card decks. And if you have anything you want to chat about, kindly put it in the little chitty chat box behind me. But yeah, no, I love Basset Hounds. They're like some of the best dogs ever. We used to have one growing up, and her name was Chloe, and she would run away to the dog park and steal donuts. She was so good. And then sometimes she would stand on the picnic table so that way she could like look over the fence, even though our fence was only like 3.5 feet tall because they're super short. It was so good. What a great dog. She was really funny. But anyway, yeah, we're doing readings. I don't know. I don't have too much to talk about. Not much has happened since the last time I did an update. But yeah, anything going on with you guys that I should know about? The Tarot Sphere, Samantha, Colleen, anybody? Hi, Ivan, how are you? So, well, Samantha, how am I supposed to practice if nobody asks any questions? Got you there, don't I? Got you there. Ivan, I just read that, by the way, Ivan, speaking of selfish, I just read that, well, I didn't just read it. I read it when you sent it, that wonderful review you sent me. Thank you. And I've been meaning to reply, but I haven't really had a chance yet. I've had some extenuating circumstances, we'll call them, which in my mind, extenuating circumstances always sounds like excuses, but I'm trying to be easier on myself. But I cannot tell you how awesome that was, and thank you so much. And I may or may not have made everybody in my life read it, by the way. I was just like, read this! Retracted, of course, with all like the pertinent information taking out, but I'm like, look at how awesome I am! Look at this and look at it with your eyes. But oh my goodness, so silly. But anyway, yes, it did. And like I said, I am so sorry that it took me forever to acknowledge it, but working on it. Creative business movement or insight. I could definitely do that for you, Samantha. Anything? Do you want to? I've got Sacred Creators here. Did you want to do Sacred Creators? That's always good for business, I think. But actually, you know what, too? I've got some really fun stuff. I always do the birds, but what do I have? Sorry, I've got like a pile of junk behind me. All right. I think maybe we will try. Oh, I'm making a mess. All right, we'll try the Sasura-Baito Tarot for you instead of the birds, and then we'll mix it up with a few other things. All right, so we'll do this Sarabayito Tarot. This one is really cute. I did like a little review for it. It's in like the wherever. I don't even know what direction we're pointing in anymore. It's but it's an awesome deck. You can get it on Etsy. Gilded, which is awesome. Death's Head Moths, and it's got kind of like a Japanese theme going on. So I'm gonna take this, and for you, I'm gonna mix it up with my Hokusai. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull from the Hokusai first because we'll do a focus reading. So the Hokusai is an Ilmenagelo deck, and this guy is like 80 years old, maybe older, and he still hand makes tarot, like he hand paints tarot cards out of this awesome studio in Italy. And he used to make all the boxes, but he doesn't anymore. But you can still, like, if you beg real hard, you can still get a handmade box, which I totally did. So I've got 2 copies of this deck, but his artwork is fantastic. And most of his decks, though, I will say, are majors only. So I'm going to pull, like, this is going to be a big focus for you. This is when you're going to have to sit. I find that with the Hokusai, like, you sit and you let it marinate for like a good, like, it takes like a good, almost like a good month or so to manifest, but it's usually like a big issue. So because I think you've asked about, I think you've asked a couple of times about your business. So we'll see if we can't get down to brass tacks with this guy. How's that sound? And you have Sacred Creators, so really I'm not doing you any favors by pulling from Sacred Creators. At this point, you're probably more of an expert on it than I am, because I honestly, since like the last time we saw it in one of these live videos, I haven't touched my Sacred Creators deck. We'll do that one. That one felt right. And because the Sarabayito has that Japanese vibe going on, we'll mix a couple of these in. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to take that and put it right there so that way I don't shuffle on it. Could you imagine shuffling on that? Like, the Ilmenagelo decks, not that I'm not bragging or anything, but I mean, for the way that I treat my tarot decks, I really should not be spending any more than like $25, $30 on them. And that one was not cheap. And I'm just like, yeah, let me just shuffle this other deck on top of that card. Like, pff, whatever. And then I'm just like, wow, no, don't. There's, you know, that part of your brain, like sometimes your body does something and in your brain is like, stop, what are you doing? Oh my God. And then your body just goes ahead and does it anyway. And then you're just like, that was, I knew, like, while I was doing it, it was a bad idea. All right. Just picking your cards right now. Okay. Let's see what we got going on for you, young lady. Ooh. Okay, so for you, your Hokusai card is the Hanged Man. And I love this card as the Hanged Man, like this little robin. Okay, so this is more like, okay, usually when we see the Hanged Man, like he's hanging from his foot, I almost always get the impression from most Hanged Men cards, like he wound up there like as a stupid, like his own folly put him there, or he was strung up that way by other people for being kind of a stupid, like whatever decision he made. But on this one, it's almost like a little bit of a different feeling. Like that robin is hanging himself upside down. Like birds have a very good sense of balance. They almost never wind up upside down unless they want to be upside down. So, oh, and it's been your daily pull for almost the last 2 days. Has it been, young lady? Okay, that means that the Hanged Man has shown up in your life a lot. But so it's almost like you've got like this self-imposed standstill going on in your creative process. And I mean, obviously there's something there you need to address. But I also like how this Hanged Man, like that's a beautiful That's a beautiful flowering branch he's hanging on. So there are like little kernels of ideas going on, and this bird has just, like, all he's got to do is choose like which little kernel he's going to go with. And I don't think that necessarily any of them are the wrong direction to go in. And then we combine it. Your other cards were the World, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. So with the World, I always like to see the World like, yeah, it's got like this feeling of completion, but it's also like beginnings and endings. I feel like there's probably something, like you're stuck because there's something that you haven't fully like put an end to. Like you've got some sort of project that's hanging out there, and like it just doesn't feel finished. It's not like, you're not quite there yet. Like you need that feeling of completion before you can move on from this standstill to really figure out like what's going on with your next creative move. And the Four of Wands, normally it's like a feeling of home and whatnot, but this is almost like creating almost a little cage, instead of the idea of like a happy home with like, hi, your way, like your home, and the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith image. Like a box can either be a home or a cage, whether or not that cage is gilded. I mean, I think like you're stuck in this idea that you've got like this well, too bad, do it. You've got, I don't want to do, yeah, you've got to. I mean, you've got to finish it, or you've got to give yourself permission to let it go unfinished. I mean, that's either, I think that's really what's holding you up. And like the Queen of Swords, I love this one. This is a lot of people think of the Queen of Swords as kind of like an old crone, like she's kind of like a crazy cat lady. She's like she's just kind of mean and bitter and old and whatnot. But I mean, I always saw her as a very sharp businesswoman, probably a little too loose with her tongue. Really good example for her. And like my go-to pop culture reference for this card has, like, I usually say the Weasleys for the suit of wand, for the court cards for the wands, but in the instance of the Queen, oh, I'm sorry, not the wands. Yeah, so it would be Weasleys for wands, but for the Queen of Swords, I always think of the Queen of Thorns from Game of Thrones, the old Tyrell lady. She's always got like that in the thing. Marjorie's grandmother. So like, she says that she's too old, like life is too short. She's just going to tell you what she means. She's going to be a little bit mean about it, but like there is a little bit of wisdom like hidden therein. And eventually she kind of gets what she wants because no fucks given on her end. So I think maybe you need to apply a little of that to a little of this to get yourself unstuck. Like you need to like come up with that. You need to come up with that. You need to complete this project or let yourself let it go. And you need to talk to yourself a little bit like the Queen of Thorns would talk to somebody who is dilly-dallying on a project and letting it get in the way of the rest of their like creative processy life type situation. So I think you will continue to see the Hangman until you figure the rest of that out. But it's, you got like a little mapped out, so you just need to finish it up. Finish it. Just do it. Don't let it keep you trapped. And I hope that was helpful. And yeah, getting organized is part of it, but I mean, I always, especially with creative people, I always hesitate to say get organized. There's definitely a need for structure in our lives, but I feel like from chaos comes beauty. Like a messy desk, you can see connections that you normally wouldn't see if your desk was organized. I mean, there's a reason that creative people work the way that they do. There's a reason that their desks are always messy. There's a reason that their schedule is always a little bit hectic. There's a reason that like it's just that kind of organizational structure not only does not come naturally to creative people, but it gets in the way of the creative process. So if you are going to do that and apply that, don't let an organizational process become your creative cage either. Like, don't let it get in the way of, you know, you might think you're creating like this awesome, super awesome workspace, but if you completely sterilize whatever it is that you're doing and you sterilize your schedule, like you might find that your block gets even worse. So there's no sense in being 100% perfect is what I'm saying, because, you know, the beauty is in the imperfection. So anybody else have a question? All you have to do is put it in the box on the side right there. That is what it is for. It is also for random chatting. I am a, except for what am I behind on? Oh, I'm behind on seasons of Supernatural, so no spoilers. I'll punch you right through the screen. It'll happen. But yeah, no, we can like, I don't know, like if there's something you would prefer to chat about rather than readings, we can certainly do that. Anybody else want a reading? Anybody else? Anybody? Okay. So can you enable? Yes, you can deck enable the chat all you want, Ivan. Seriously, like I can't be the only one deck enabling here. Come on now. Can't be the only one doing it. Gonna make me look like the bad guy all the time. I need at least, you know, a little. I mean, I think you have more decks than me at this point. Like, you know, I defer to the master here as far as deck enabling is concerned. And by the way, damn you, you posted something with Dixit and I started to look into it. That's dangerous. That is a dangerous and slippery slope. That is just a path that I do not want to wander down. Which one? Which one? The Sasura Baito? This guy? Oh, it's an awesome deck. I'm sorry, oh yeah, Dixit is amazing. Yeah, stupid Dixit. I'm gonna spend like my whole entire Amazon budget in one fell swoop. It's no good. Oh, Forces Flora and Fauna. Already got mine. I have to do, I got this a couple of days ago actually. I ordered it on Indiegogo, and I was surprised actually. I was surprised to find it on Indiegogo because I find that Kickstarter seems to be the really big like deck crowdfunding site. And I just, for whatever reason, I stumbled across it on Indiegogo. You just ordered yours today. Ah. Oh, how does Dixit play? I've only ever seen it used by other people who read Oracle and stuff for Oracle readings, but I know it's like a storytelling game. But oh my god, yeah, no. So the cardstock's okay, but the artwork is absolutely fantastic. I think the thing that's going to be kind of hard to get, like there's no keywords on the cards, and I think it'll read very nicely with the Hardy Tarot because it's by the same artist. So it's meant to be like a sister deck to that. And like I said, the artwork is stunning. The colors are stunning. I wish, I don't know. I kind of maybe wish that the cards had been. So you tell stories with the cards. That sounds kind of fun. Also kind of exhausting. I mean, it seems just kind of like Oracle reading, but with like no, like just for the sake of telling stories with cards. Yeah, to let me know how the Hardy is. I've seen it. I don't know if that's one that I'll wind up ordering. I knew I wanted the Forces Flora and Fauna, but yeah, there's no keywords on these cards, which is like really obnoxious. She put like I said, the artwork is beautiful. The colors are great. I don't know how varnished the cards are. They're a little bit shiny. I always get wary with cards like these. Just because I don't want to, like, God forbid, like I spill my coffee or something. But yeah, they're okay. Like they're papery. They're papery cardstock. I'd say they're a little bit thicker than like a standard Llewellyn kind of a feeling. and you get cards with like, hey, here's an explanation, and then here's some keywords like for the cards, but they're not on the cards. And I feel like that's going to be kind of really interruptive of the flow of a reading. Like these are probably, I'm probably going to wind up using these mostly for self-reading and Instagram and doing like reading exchanges online. I don't know that I'd ever use them like in a live reading kind of a sense of the thing. The weird line in the card before the card title. Oh, you mean like at the bottom? Like the right before the tides? Because there's a matching one on top. Like she's got borders on both of her cards. So I don't think that that's I don't see that as being bad. I mean, it's no more, honestly, it's no more intrusive than like the and then like the card names on the 78 Tarot Carnival or some of the other tarot cards that I've seen. Like it's no, I don't think it's any more intrusive than something like that. I mean, it depends on whether or not you like your cards to have borders or not. And I'm not particularly horrible about borders. I do like that there's no borders on the side though. So you can kind of do like a lineup if you wanted. So they flow a little bit longitudinally, but latitude wise it would be like kind of weird. But I don't see that it would really mess with a reading too bad as far as that's concerned. I don't know, like I said, I just got it, haven't really read with it yet. And it's like I said, it's by no means the worst header and footer on a card that I've ever seen. I mean, really the worst offender that I've seen so far, which is such a shame because I love the deck so much and I love their project so much, is the 78 Tarot Nautical. Like that is insane. Like that is, oh, come here, little tarot cards. Actually wound up, they just had their Kickstarter, so I wound up getting a second deck so that way I could have a deck to trim and then a deck for collecting, because I don't want to, like, God forbid I fuck it up when I finally do the trimming. But that is like the worst thing. Like that is just so distracting. Like I get that I'm not usually one that's just like, oh, I find borders so distracting, but like it's just such big, like it's big and there. And oh, you know what? I'm not doing the Oracle of Oddities. She wrote somewhere that she was thinking about putting the Oracle, the Oddities, like she was going to release the second and third decks together as like one deck. But I don't have the first one and I don't have the second one yet. I'm not going to buy the second and third ones separately. I'm not going to buy the second and third one separately if they're going to be released together as one set. But like then she's saying like, oh, but I'm never going to release it. Like I feel no pull either way. Like if she ever decides to like release all three as one cohesive deck, like, hi Nikki, how are you? We're doing readings and we're talking and we're chatting decks and stuff. So if you wanna reading, you just have to put the question right in the side. And right now we're debating whether or not we're going to be getting the Oracle of Oddities 3rd edition, to which I say probably no. Yeah, they're huge borders, right? Yeah, I've seen it trimmed though, and it looks really cute trimmed, but I just don't want to, like, this one I actually bought as part of like the big box set, and it's like it's actually numbered and signed, so I won't be chopping this one into tiny little pieces. But I did get a second deck so I could chop that one into tiny little pieces. But yeah, no, I don't think I'll be. Do you already have the first two, Ivan? How do you feel about them? The Oracle of Oddities. I think I've seen the Antique Anatomy Tarot floating around in your atmosphere, but I don't know that I've seen the Oracle of Oddities. Can't remember. Oh, yep, absolutely. You caught me live, Ladyface. Oh, okay. Hi, Marjorie. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, no, it feels like it would be. Oh my God, her shit is so expensive, isn't it? It's so expensive. I just did the pre-order for the, oh, can I just tell you, I paid, God knows what I paid for, I can't even remember. Would love to know if you'll get the chance to move, but the house won't be ready until the second half of next year. Okay, all right, I'll read for you. Well, I'll start shuffling, and in the meantime, while I shuffle, I will talk about Black and the Moon, because like I just have to. I ordered the the Arcana of Astrology. I think it was like 60 some odd dollars, even after you figured like from Canadian to US. It was like eensy teeny tiny, and I was just like, son of a. And then the paper stock isn't even that great, and I was just like, I had to take a deep breath. Like I had to take a deep breath and kind of collect and just think about how good the Instagram photos are going to be. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do for you, Star Child Borderless, by the way. Yeah, I had to do a deep breath, like just to kind of be like, oh my God. Yeah, it's, I haven't really read with it yet, honestly, because like I haven't really, like, I'm still getting over my, I'm still getting over, like, I'm still getting over my, like, honestly, like, for the sake of being crude, it's kind of like when you go out on a date with a guy, you spend all that time and you're not really like that into him, but like maybe you've hit a bit of a dry spell and then you get back to his apartment and you're like kind of disappointed, if you catch my drift, because that is kind of how I felt about the Arcana of Astrology. And I'm still kind of getting over my disappointment. I know that there's a good deck in there. I know that there's some good readings to be had, but I just can't right now because I'm mad at it. Like I just can't even. Like it needs better cardstock. If it was better cardstock, I could forgive the price, but like I just like I can't even. Yeah, I just can't even. Like I just can't even. Like it's such a good deck. Oh, the Sacred Creators Oracle. No, it's a good, I have found, okay, I'm gonna, like, I have to do an update for Sacred Really? Oh, that's even more disappointing. Ivan, don't tell me that. That's so sad. No. Oh, Ivan. Drive that stake right through my heart. Just drive it right through my heart, babe. Thanks. Thanks for that. Boo. Okay. All right. Oh, and then Nikki, also, I will tell you, like, the Sacred Creators Oracle, I will say this, has been reading accurately. So I am going to wind up doing an update on that deck. Just like I haven't really been using it much, but for what, you know, I will say that, like, okay, so the deck has a lot of good, the Sacred Creators Oracle has a lot of good juice in there for people that aren't entrepreneurs and people who aren't necessarily are like creative in an artistic vein. I think that's where she, like, from a marketing standpoint, from a retail standpoint, like she cut off like a good, like at least like 50% of her audience with that deck. So you should definitely maybe give it a try. If I were you though, I would maybe, I don't know. I find that I've been trying to find things in deck trades like for cheaper than how you could normally get them, but I find that most people just want their money back, and then by the time you ship, you could have a brand new deck, which isn't exactly ecologically friendly. But I don't know, if I'm gonna pay brand new deck money for a used deck, that just doesn't sit well in my brain. So I want a brand new deck if I'm gonna pay brand new deck money. Okay, let's see. Also, I will say this about the words that she uses in Sacred Creators. Soulpreneur is the worst word on the face of the planet. It is up there with moist and extrude. Like, I'm just gonna, ugh, like it's the worst ever. Okay, so as far as moving for you is concerned. Ooh, okay. So not exactly the best reading. Not the worst either, though. So you got the 10 of Swords, woohoo! And you got the Tower, also not amazing. And you got the 3 of Wands, which is not, it's not a bad card, actually. I like the 3 of Wands a lot. It's like, it's all about potential. Okay, so let's see. 10 of Swords and the Tower. I feel like not that so much are you going to move. I think a move needs to happen. As far as that place that you're looking at, you might not necessarily get that exact one. I don't know. The universe has funny ways of working, and this to me says, like, you just because you have your heart set on something, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because honestly, the way that life works, usually it just likes to throw curveballs at you and you don't necessarily get what you planned for. And in this case, I think that that's the case for you, and you're going to see it as like some sort of big, oh my God. But it's going to happen for a reason, and it's going to happen for like a protective reason. Good. I'm glad you're listening. Because you just listened to me choke on my own spit. Awesome. But yeah, so it's gonna it's gonna seem like this big huge catastrophe. Maybe like you not getting the place that you want, or something happening with you getting the place that you want in the way that you want. But for it's gonna happen. It's happening for a reason. I need to take a sip of my water. Give me 1 second. Oh, is this thirsty work? But it's happening like kind of to protect you. Like this is like, it's going to seem catastrophic and awful to you, but it's not like a bad thing. It's not like it's gonna the 3 of Wands leads me to believe that you not getting the place that you want in the way that you want is happening to protect you, and there's something better coming for you than what you had originally planned. But it's going to seem like it's the end of your world. It's going to seem like it's going to seem like a tower event, and it's going to feel like a betrayal. Like maybe they'll lease the apartment out from under you, or something awful will happen. But in the end, like, you'll wind up where you're supposed to be, and it's going to be better. So that is kind of where I'm feeling with that. And then, because you've been talking about it, I'm going to throw in a Sacred Creator for you, because you need one. Yeah, the book is good. The book for Sacred Creators is fantastic. I wish I had it ready. No, like, it's not so much that you'll not get, like, you're gonna get your new start. Don't confuse what I'm saying about you not getting your new start. It's just you're not gonna get it in the way that you think you want it. Which is, you know how, like, we always want, it's just like one of those things, like, you know, like you have something planned a certain way and you're just like, oh my goodness, like this is going to happen this way and it's going to be amazing. And then it doesn't happen that way and we're super devastated. But then in the end, it turns out the way that it is, like the way that it actually happens, like you get a better result kind of a thing. I think that's kind of what's going on with you and this place. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, honestly, maybe there's something wrong with the house, like, or maybe there's something, like, maybe there's a better way to finance it, or maybe somebody, like, you know, maybe like there's like, I don't know, maybe like, again, usually what happens in those kind of situations, it's not even working on other things first. It's like, honestly, like, it just might not be a good fit. Maybe that house is like, you know, for the money you could get a better house, and then you just don't get that house, and then you discover like the house that you actually really do want. Like, it's just, it's kind of again, the universe has a way of working things out the way that they're supposed to be worked out, and you just kind of have to trust. I think that's kind of what that was really about. The 3 of Wands is really positive. I love the 3 of Wands. It's all about new hope, and usually it's about business partnerships and money and passions. And Yeah, I think like the 10 of Wands and the Tower, but like usually not really great cards, but mixed with the 3 of Wands, I think that's one of those like this is like something's not gonna happen for you because like this better thing is going to happen for you. I would listen to Marjorie. She's a smart lady. Like she knows what's what. The 3 of Wands is positive though, especially linked to the other. Like I think you're good. And watch the Sacred Creators mirror exactly what we were just saying, because that's usually what the Sacred Creators has been doing. Okay. So, oh no, Marjorie, it's your like most hated card just came up. Stop dropping bliss. Like, oh damn it, Sacred Creators. Okay. So external validation. What does your soul say? And stop, drop, and bliss. Okay, so while it isn't exactly mirroring the while it isn't exactly mirroring the reading that came from the Star Child, yeah, so I think external validation, I think this might be like this, like are you looking at getting a house because like social pressures are telling you that, and like maybe you're rushing into this a little too fast? And I think what does your soul say as far as that house is concerned? You need to sit down and really think about what you want in a house, because it's a 30-year commitment. A house, it's like it's a mortgage, it's a marriage, like it's you know it's the other M word, it's marriage light. It's basically it's a 30-year commitment to a thing. Like that's insane, right? So you have to sit down and you have to really listen to what your soul says is an acceptable house to have for the next 30 years. Like you have to figure out what it is you really want from a house and like really not rush into this. And then, you know, stop, drop, and bliss. I know you hate that card, Marjorie. And honestly, the more I see it, the less I like it. But it's not necessarily a bad message in this case. I think it's going to be like, you know, stop, slow your roll. This thing this plan that you have is going to drop, but eventually something is going to be like something even better is going to come along. So usually stop, drop, like that phrase I kind of associate with stop, drop, and roll. And usually you're doing that because you're on fire, which isn't a good thing. But you know, that's kind of like a panic mode, almost like a tower event, maybe even. And yeah, I think that one is kind of telling you like, okay, this thing is going to happen. And it's not going to be that great, but afterwards something good is coming. So I think you'll be just fine. And I think you really do need to like maybe tonight make a list of all the things that you want in a house for the next 30 years. You know, like time to think about the grown-up aspects of buying a house. Do you want the house to accumulate equity? Do you want to put down money towards principal within your payment? Can you pay off points? You know, how's your credit score? You know, like is the house in a district with good schools? How, like, what does the taxing look like? Do you have a Proposition 2.5 in that town? Are they looking at buying a new, like our town, like we just found out our town's building a new fire station. So there goes my property taxes through the freaking roof because it's Proposition 2.5. It's a Proposition 2.5 exempt. So, I mean, like you need to like really like, you know, is that area, how does that area look in the long term as far as community development is concerned? Like, is that neighborhood going to hell in a handbasket? And like, are the property values consistently, like, are they rising? Are they falling? Are they staying consistent? What's the age of the population there? Usually what happens. Yeah, I know that, like, but don't rush it. Don't emotionally buy a house, I think is the, I think, Yeah, that is a really great exercise, Samantha. But yeah, I think you need to like think about some of the more grown up and least savory portions about buying a house, because you don't want to wind up in a house that in the long run does not work for you. And then you just find yourself right back in the same situation as you did before, only now you're stuck because you've got a mortgage. Like you can't walk away from a mortgage. You can't, not really, not in a good way. So anywho, I think you and your dog will be happy no matter what, but make sure you pick a house that's right for you. Exactly. Be patient. There you go. Have I missed anything in chat? Let's see. What do I got going on here? Yeah, Marjorie's right. There could be neighbors or something there that you don't like either. Oh, if they don't even know the ground plan yet and there's a delay on the building project, that's never a good sign either. Yeah, marriage is more, that's what we like. I call him my husband, but we're not married. We have a mortgage instead. It's diet marriage. It really is just, it feels like marriage. It's a 30-year commitment. It's a huge financial responsibility. But anyway, if anybody else wants a reading, just put it in the doobly-doo. But in the meantime, we're just going to randomly chat about things. And I am only going to go for like another 15 minutes. I think I'm starting to get a little tired. So I should probably go home and see my family at some point. You know, they're jerks, but they're my jerks. Oh, old grumpy people surrounding you. That's no good. Unless you like old grumpy people. I mean, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like your neighbors coming over, then maybe that's awesome. No, anytime. But yeah, no, if anybody else wants to, Ivan, did you want a reading? You don't have to give me like ginormous feedback like you did last time, but if you have a question, feel free. Marjorie, Samantha, likewise. Samantha, I just read for you. Don't be greedy. Oh my God, I'm just kidding. I didn't even give you a chance to reply. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get silly because I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, no, oh man, I would love to live in a retirement community. Does that sound really weird? Like I would love to live in a retirement community. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. Like, no, and never asking. No, that's not weird. Never ask about things that you don't want to know about. And most people have a really hard time. I guess the thing that I've discovered, at least on the forums, most people have a really hard time reading about love for other people. Because like one, you have like it's almost like, you know, how does so and so feel about me? It's almost like a violation of the like the no third party reading rule that a lot of people have. And then other times too, it's almost like unhealthy enabling. You find people coming back asking the same question until they get the answer they want, but they never do, and then they get angry. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing questions like somebody was on earlier and there was a question about like, oh, finding love. Paloma, I think it was Paloma. We rephrased her question so that way it was, how do you, like, what kind of like, you know, what energies are blocking you from finding love? Like, how do you get yourself like ready to like re-enter the dating pool or that kind of thing? Yeah, well, like it gets a little old after a while, I guess. I don't think it necessarily gets old. I think it's just a lot of it's common. I think a lot of it's common sense type stuff. Like, I've only been really like immersing myself in readings for like 6 months or so now. And if I get one more, how does, you know, how does Brelin Tyrone feel about me? We broke up 48 years ago, and I haven't talked to him since. Should we get back together? I mean, like, I don't need cards to be like, no. You know, it's like, so those kind of readings, I'm sure if she used to do them, I'm sure if she doesn't want to do them anymore, that like those kind of questions probably have something to do with it. But I think rephrasing it so that way it's more of an exploration of your own subconscious, as opposed to being like, what are yeah, pretty much the cards always come back like really muddy and kind of like the answer to this. Not to mention, it's almost like a violation of the other person's privacy. It's like, it's none of my business to figure out what that person feels about you. It's like, that always feels like a little bit yucky to me. What I like to do for relationship readings, if somebody's really insistent on a relationship reading, I actually have a really nice spread. Oh yeah, like in the timing too, like when will I meet the love of my life? It's like, I don't know, when you're ready, really. Also define love of your life. And even if you do meet the love of your life, will you be ready to receive that kind of love into your life? Like, will you, like, you know, all those questions are, yeah, if you have to ask if somebody loves, yeah, pretty much Marjorie's right there. But yeah, no, I find that if somebody's really insistent on a relationship reading, there is a fantastic, actually, you know what, I should let me find the link. I'll post it in like the chitty chat box. But the Wild Unknown has a really good mirror spread. It's where you do, let me see, tarot. It's like, did they change this website? I might be really mad if they change this website. Where's the blog? Ritual tools. They changed up their website, but it's a mirror spread, so you can see how the energies of a personality play off of each other. Tarot spreads, here we go. Actually, you know what, they did change up this, but it's not really that horrible. Here we go. Copy and paste. And I find that this is a really good option to doing a like, does she love me? Like, will we be best of love soulmates forever and ever? You know, are they ready to be my boyfriend or girlfriend? And oh my God, my husband's such a skeptic. Oh my God, Ivan, the other day he asked me when we would go to war with North Korea, and I was just like, I hate your life right now so much. I can't even. I had like some self-imposed homework, and I was just like, I need to get this many readings, and I need to get back into the practice of doing readings. And he was just like, well, when are we going to go to war with North Korea? And I was just like, I hate you. Like, I can't even. Like, I just had to get up and walk away. Hi, Ms. Mitchell. How are you? Yes, how to bring love into one's life. And I like the mirror spread. It's how two personalities play off of each other. That's a really good one. I put the link in there. So that's really, make 3 piles, the you, me, us. You make 3 piles, the first 2 until you find a court card, and the final until you find a major. That's kind of interesting. Can you link to a, because I can't, I'm having trouble picturing that in my head right now. Could you link to a, like a, you know what, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to find a video tutorial, because that sounds really fun. Oh, and the mirror spread, I like to use the Wild Unknown and their spirit animal deck with it. So each station gets 2 cards because it adds like that extra layer, which is really nice. And then a really good thing to pay attention, I think she puts it on there, but a really nice thing to pay attention to is what direction the cards, like the characters on the cards, are facing. Are they facing away from each other or towards each other or in the same direction? Are they facing, you know, to the left? Are they facing to the right? Like, what's going on? Are they, you know, are they looking to the past? Or are they looking to the future? It's kind of, it's a really So you do the first pile until you find a court card, and then the second pile until you find a court card, and then the third pile until you find one of the major arcana, and that's supposed to be like a general reading of a relationship. That sounds like really kind of fun. I'm gonna try that out tonight. I'm gonna see how that does. I'll do it with I'd ask Chris, but he just asked when I'm getting divorced from Kim Jong-un. Because you jerk. Chris and Kim Jong-un, but oh my God, like I can't even handle that guy sometimes. Oh, I just got that book too. Well, I didn't just get it, but I just cracked it. But yeah. I think that's going to be all of our homeworks. I think that's going to be everybody's homework for next Thursday. Mostly like we'll all do some romance spreads or some relationship spreads and see which ones we like first. I think that's kind of fun. Oh my God, skeptical husbands are like the literal worst. They're like, you just want to be like, just help me with this. Just, I'm not asking, like, you could be a skeptic in your own head. Just like, maybe don't be a dickhole while I try to practice this thing I'm trying to do. like it's just, oh, it's so funny. Or like, will I ever be happy? And I'm just like, I'm standing right here, you asshole. Like, I'm standing right here reading your cards. Will you ever be happy? Like, the answer to that question is no. No, you will not. Shuffle the card until you find the... Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. That's kind of a Lenormand kind of a way to approach that, isn't that? I've heard about doing that with, like, if you want to figure out what's going on, like, because Lenormand is more fortune tellery than tarot usually is. So you would shuffle a Lenormand deck until you and then you would look for, if you for example, if it was work, you would look for the building, or if it was if you're what's going on for my week, you'd look for the man or the woman, the significator card, and then you would look what's going on before and after. I don't know. I'm just starting to get into Lenormand. It's very daunting, but I have Ciolo Thompson's Lenormand, and it's gorgeous, and I want to know how to use it the right way. And I can't not use it because it is so pretty. Oh my God, yeah, the Scrying Lenormand, it's so good. Maybe I'll bring that in for next Thursday. By the way, Mrs. Mitchell, which is really weird for me to say, by the way, because one of my neighboring stores is Mrs. Mitchell's. It's really weird. It's actually a cute little, it's kind of a tchotchke shop, but she's got some really cute housewares in there, but I digress. If you want a reading, I've got room for one more before I hit the road, the long and dusty trail. I am officially calling a 5-minute marker on that, by the way, you guys. Gotta head home, gotta go see the fam. I love them and I miss them. It's been a long day, so I want to go home and pet the doggies. And my husband, he's all right. I used to pet oh my God, my last dog. We used to snuggle all the time, and I'd be like, Pootie, you're the best. You're the most handsomest, bestest, most loveliest dog on the whole entire planet, and I love you so, so much. And honey, you're okay. It does kind of have a teachery feel to it. That is where I think my brain would go if it wasn't the name of the store next door. It's by the way, if that is Lynn, if that is you, Lynn, we've got some. Oh yeah, the whole joke is I'll see you next Thursday, because I love that I get to say that. And it was gonna be Tuesdays, but that was a little on the nose. But this is close enough. I'm super immature, so yes, Ms. Mitchell, we will see you next Thursday. Oh my God, I'm so immature. I love it. So now you guys secretly know why I do this on Thursdays. But yeah, no, I'm wow, oh my goodness. That's really weird. I love when stuff like that happens. Yay. But yes, we'll see you next Thursday. And I do free readings on Thursdays. So if you have questions, you let me know. And I'm happy to read for you. I always have a plethora of decks to choose from. But yeah, okay. So guys, I'm going to wind it down. Any last minute, any things we wanted to talk about? I feel like it was a little all over the place. Chat is really kind of hard to keep up on. Chat is kind of hard to keep up on when you when you don't when you have people actually chatting. Weird. Oh, good. I'm glad that you. I'm glad that you feel like you're on the porch on Cape Cod. One of these days, I'll dust off my laptop and I'll try and do something from like the beach or something. I'll make like a hotspot or something, and then it'll really feel like you're from Cape Cod or like you're on Cape Cod. Bye, Ms. Mitchell. Bye, Ivan. Bye, Marjorie. Bye, Samantha. Nikki, we'll see you next time. And Colleen, if you're still hanging in there, wonderful to see you. And Paloma, if you're on there, awesome. It was lovely to read for you tonight. And I think I've hit everybody. Did I say Ivan? I don't remember anymore. I've got memory problems. It's a thing. But anyway. Yeah, I didn't know Kelly was going to be chatting tonight. I didn't know Kelly was going to be chatting tonight. Otherwise, I don't think I would have done Thursday. Like, she kind of surprised me. I was like, shit, nobody's going to be on here tonight. But anyway, I'm really going to go this time. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. And I look forward to reading for you next Thursday. I might pop up in between then and now. Who knows? All right. Bye, guys.